They tried to charge me for sunlight. Yes, actual sunlight. Now the HOA can't plant a single tree, raise a fence, or build a patio cover unless I approve it. Let me tell you how that happened. I installed solar panels on my roof last summer. Not some DIY special. A licensed contractor, full permit, everything inspected and stamped by the city. The panels weren't even visible from the street. The only thing they did was lower my electric bill and make my air conditioning free on hot days. 1 week later, I got a letter from the HOA. The header said, "Unauthorized exterior modification." And then the line that made me choke laughing. "Your solar panels are utilizing community sunlight, a shared resource, monthly sunlight usage fee, $35. They were charging me rent for the sun. I thought it had to be a prank, but nope. Next week I got a fine for not paying the sunlight fee. Then another. So I called the HOA president. Let's call him Rick, because of course his name is Rick. I told him I had permits. I told him the state has a solar access protection law which prevents HOAs from blocking solar installations. Rick says, in his smug country club voice, "We're not blocking your panels. We're charging for the shared sunlight." Shared sunlight. I knew right then this man had never lost before, and he needed to. So I hired a property surveyor and a real estate attorney I know from work. We reviewed the property deeds, HOA charter, and zoning laws, and we found something interesting. The HOA's authority only applies to structures on the property. They have no legal claim to the airspace above it, and in my state, homeowners can file what's called an air rights claim, which gives you enforceable ownership of the vertical space above your land up to regulated FAA air height. So that's exactly what I did. I filed a claim establishing that the airspace directly above my property, including all sunlight that reaches my roof, is legally mine. This means the HOA cannot plant trees that cast shade on my roof. The HOA cannot approve any neighbor structure that shadows my panels. The HOA cannot restrict, regulate, or charge for sunlight, ever. A month later, the HOA calls an emergency meeting. Rick looks like someone told him golf was canceled forever. He says, "This airspace claim undermines the HOA's authority." My lawyer smiles and says, "Your authority ends at ground level. Congratulations, you still control the dirt." It was quiet for a long time. Then the board voted to cancel all fines, remove the sunlight fee from HOA rules, issue a written apology. Rick resigned 4 days later. And now, I added 2 more solar panels, just because I could. There's a small sign on my fence that faces the HOA walking path. It reads, "Powered by the sun, protected by the law." Every time I see it, I smile, because they tried to charge me for sunlight, and now they have to live in my shade.